out there. Guess what? I'm going to show you how to make green bean casserole. I think I've done kind of a version of this before, but I've been working it, because this is actually better. Same concept. I'm not using canned soup or anything. But to get started here, first of all, I got the oven heating up to 350. I got some olive oil in my pot here, and I got 8 ounces of sliced mushrooms. So let's get these mushrooms going. So while they're cooking, we can talk. Can we talk? The thing you always know about mushrooms is take all the liquid out of everything. And you know, we got this argument about cleaning your mushrooms and everything, and I know I keep mentioning this, but just brush them, wipe them with a paper towel, whatever. Washing them, it just ruins. It just absorbs so much of the water. Okay, so I got these things going. We're just gonna let them cook down while I talk. So, I went to the market and got these really nice green beans. They're frozen, no, I'm just kidding. And cut the ends off. Then I cut them into sizes. Well, you know, they don't have to be perfect. Alright? This isn't, you know, get out your ruler and cut them. I just visually, what do they look good? But sort out all the ones that are a little thin. And you know, I'm not the person that sits there at the market and only picks out the good ones. Grab handfuls, just put extra in, okay? So I ended up with about 1.5 pounds, because that's what you should have. After you cut the ends off, and cut them all up and do all that, you're probably a little less. But anyway, so what you do, you got your pot of boiling water, throw them in. I like to cook them for about 3 minutes, just to kind of blanch them, and then you go in an ice bath. So get a nice big bowl, put some cold water and some ice in, throw them in there, and get the temperature to drop. And you see the difference is how beautiful green they are. I mean, these things are just absolutely beautiful. And these are right from the field, man. This is just exactly what you want. Then what I do is I always have these old towels I use for like Thanksgiving or Christmas to deal with I'm slicing something and it's going to run all over the counter off my cutting board. I just keep these towels and then wash them and keep them isolated from the rest of my towels. So anyway, I'm going to move this aside so we can get on to the rest of it. Alright, back to my mushrooms. Let's get these to cook. Don't be afraid. Olive oil is not going to kill you, so you know, I made sure there's like probably 3 tablespoons to the bottom. This is a really great pot because it's tapered a little bit, so a little bit on the bottom really helps. So what I need to do is, while I'm waiting, I'm going to get out some black pepper. Because you know me, gotta have black pepper. Yeah, gotta have black pepper. I always tell people it's to cover the dirt in the mushrooms so you don't notice my mushrooms are dirty. What do you care? You don't eat here anyways. Alright, let's see what's happening. So I got this warm enough that I'm getting liquid out, but it's kind of evaporating as soon as it all comes out, so that's a really good sign. Softening up real nice. That's a good sign. You can get fancy with whatever kind of mushroom you want. That's purely your decision. I try not to get too crazy because then people think that I'm trying to be exotic or something, and they don't watch my channel. Simpler I keep it, more people like it. I only get bad reviews when I do something that people can like make fun of or something. So these mushrooms are doing really well. And I've really worked to come up with alternatives to a lot of things, and sometimes I get better, sometimes not so much, but I think this is something that everyone will enjoy. Now, here's something you're going to think is really, really crazy, just absolutely crazy. While these mushrooms are cooking, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, low sodium, right? And we're just going to go 1, 2, and it's going to get in those mushrooms, make them just like really happy. Let's get that all stirred around. Oh boy. OMG. So what's the soy sauce doing? Well, that brewing like taste just, oh yeah, you know, really. But now I really want to make sure I get this liquid. Oh, and it's funny, so there is sodium obviously in soy sauce, so I really need to get some of that liquid out of there before I continue. It smells really good. I'm like sitting here going, this isn't such a bad thing. Oh yeah. And the other thing is the soy sauce can add really good color to it. Because we you know, blonde roux sometimes just looks kind of like, whatever. Oh, that's a scorcher. Oh yeah, what a difference. Alright, so, you know me, went a little crazy, got myself some garlic. I'm gonna get some garlic in here. This to me, that's one of the great flavors. And you know, I comment all the time, but I watch TV, cooking stuff, when I'm not watching the news. I want to know why everyone uses garlic salt, garlic powder. That doesn't taste real. Alright, so I just want to kind of perfume this garlic. So that fragrance out. So I turned it down. Now this is the combination, right? I mean, this is where it's really good. Yeah, this is so important. Do not want to scorch this garlic. Just want to start making it happy. While that's happening, I need, let's say this is, you know, obviously dehydrated, freeze-dried dill wheat, so I'm probably going to keep it down to about a teaspoon. I like it. I hope you do too, because it really adds a nice flavor. Now I need to really turn it down for the next step. Okay, I don't want to get this garlic too done. Oh. Beautiful. Alright, so like I always say, it seems, no matter how much roux I'm making or how much I'm doing, I need a 1/4 cup of flour. Isn't that what I always say? I think so. So let's get this tossed around. Now the flour's going to stick to the mushrooms and everything else. Get real happy. Make sure it's all mixed up real good. And you know the drill. Patience. I got 2.5 cups. Now I will tell you, you can use whole milk. I'm using half and half because I've tried it both ways and it does not matter. So in the beginning we want to be really careful about adding the liquid. As soon as we get it to a nice kind of slurry consistency, then we think about thickening it up. 2.5 cups is quite a bit. So just take your time, especially in the beginning. I got this from a guy named Christopher Robin. This is a kangaroo. Whatever. Alright. Now that I got this just thin enough where everything's making a nice creamy, now we just want to make sure we get some bubbles going because we do want to cook this. The dairy product is pretty cool, so straight out of the refrigerator. So I want to do this, like I said, keeping it slow. I'll be doing some incorporating later, so I got this spatula. So I use it to scrape my spoon to make sure I don't have a bunch of floury junk stuck to it. Waiting for little bubbles. So, how many people hate green bean casserole? There's a ton out there. So I've really been working on this. Because I ate the same bad stuff you did. And I was determined. Because people always ask me, oh, I love that stuff. I'm like, well, let me make it better for you. It's still staying really nice and thick. Oh yeah, beautiful. You know, the other thing I notice when I watch TV is how, and I know when you're cooking on the line, you know, everything is like lightning fast, and you're showing off, you're flaming and whatever, flambing, but you know, sometimes you need to incorporate flavors. Sometimes it takes time. All right. That being said, I'm going to be daring to put the rest of this liquid in here. I think we're pretty good. So once again, we're just waiting. Make sure everything is as it should be. I put that last in there because it was just starting to stiffen up a little bit and I didn't want it to get funky on me. Alright, so while I'm waiting for it to heat, two things. One is, let me clean the milk off here. Two, I'm going to go back to what I was doing. Now I'm going to add a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Oops. Alright, so that's a tablespoon and a half. I don't think it's going to hurt, but you can measure if you're concerned. I know I've got my consistency back. It's almost like gravy, you know. So, you don't want to go crazy. Now, I'm going to grab my beans. I knew there was something trapped in the end. So I'm just going to incorporate just get this nice and gooey good. This is really going to be good, by the way. Now I'm going to switch gears. And before it cools down, I got half a cup of Parmesan cheese, freshly grated. I had to beg at the store. Please. Oh my God. Give me the good stuff, man. just need to get this all mixed up. Those beans I threw out because they were in an ice bath and they were cold. Oh, this is going to be really good. Beautiful. All right. So I took my famous Corningware from turn of the century. This is a 4-quart. You can tell it's the original corn flour. And buttered it. There's still a little butter in the bottom. Doesn't hurt anything. Just have to make sure I'm strong enough to do this. You can use like a regular baking dish, but I'm kind of old school. I grew up doing this my whole life. And I just think it's better presentation. You can just throw it on the table. Watch the little kids burn their fingers. You really got to make sure you get all this mixture. I'll show you why in a second. Because you need to layer it. Now, I don't care if this didn't come all the way up. It's really about surface area. That's why I like it a little closer than a 13 by 9. I'm guessing this is a 9 by 9. And 13 by 9 is going to make it just a little too shallow. So that I don't want to dry it out, overcook it, whatever. So I do have a smaller one of these that probably would have worked, but it's kind of too deep. It would almost end up like a stew or something. So that's why you have to really kind of pay attention and know a little bit about pans and cooking. Had to do that. And for those of you who are going to ask me, wow, it's really good. Yes, for those of you that diehards, I got my crispy fried onions. We're just going to make a little layer on top. Go crazy. It's the holidays. Plus I'll just end up throwing this container away because I'll never ever eat these again. Alright, now we're talking, right? So 350 oven for 20 minutes. Let's see what we're going to do. Must have been doing something else I forgot about. Alright, it's 20 minutes. Let's get back. I gotta get the kitchen cleaned up. Alright, we'll see you back in 20 minutes and take a look how good this is. Wow. This is looking really good. And it's interesting. So I put too much Dijon mustard in, but the smell is amazing. So I'm really hoping that works. But I wanted to say something else before I dish this up. Do you remember going to Grandma's house, and Grandma had all the silver and all the little things, dishing and stuff up. Well, you know, there's no harm in that. You know, maybe we need to get back to, and this is actually stainless flatware, we used to call it flatware here from up north. But there's no harm in having something fancy. If you're going to have family over, it's a big event like Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever holiday, maybe you should put a little effort into being a little fancier. So anyway, I got to show you just how gorgeous and perfect not to brag, this is amazing. Okay? Oh yeah. So what my plan was, is I wanted to cook it for you guys. I'm put a little tin container, I'm sorry, aluminum, and freeze it, and I'll get it out and thaw it, and it'll be fine. You know, the onions on top would get a little mushy, but I can always put more on, or I don't really care. Alright, I'll tell you the same to me. I'm the kid on the table that mixed everything together, remember? Mix your gravy with your potatoes and your green beans. Anyway, getting back to cleaning this up, finishing up the kitchen. This is something I hope you enjoy. Make some new holiday traditions. And I got some other videos I really need to get done and edited and out there. But until then, have fun, cook a lot, get the family in the kitchen, don't let them out, lock the door, and have a great day. I'll see you later.